Chili peppers. Let's get down with something still cool J. You know what I mean?
This is radio like you never heard before. Liberty TV Radio, the best in entertainment and sport. You're listening to Liberty TV and Radio. Get entertained. There's nothing like listening to Liberty TV Radio. It's fun. This is radio like you never heard before.
Good morning. I keep seeing
TV Radio.
How are you?
Pathfinder for radio. Liberty TV Radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen.
Oma Akatuba, my guy. My main guy. Good to have a brother like you. Okay, guys. They say it's too early to play, right? It's not too early to play. Play does not have time. It's showtime, guys. Good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegota TV Radio. My name is Idafi Matteo Guendouzi. You love to call me the Elegota One of Sports. All right, it was nice when I saw the Dortmund legend team on tour in Ghana. Pogba and the rest of the guys. It was nice, but you know, last week some very crazy things were just bubbling in my head. You know, in Africa we like Real Madrid Academy, Barcelona Academy in Nigeria, but that one they work. All these Olympique de Marseille, different academies. When would we have Eyiba Academy? Like Eyiba have an academy in Lagos to have best players here join that team. When would we have Leeds United Academy? When would we have, you know, it's an indirect colonization, but we don't see yet. Okay, you know how we start the show. Let me read a message that somebody sent me. Hi, Idafi, my name is Joel. I'd like to first thank you for what you do on your channel. I started out not liking it, and then you convinced me with your consistency. I like it because when people talk you down, it seems like it doesn't affect you. Well, it really doesn't affect me anyway. It seems like it doesn't affect you, and you keep going. And all of a sudden, even those who don't like you begin to like you. I am one good example of that. I didn't like you because I thought you were full of yourself. You were too arrogant. Yes, I am arrogant in a way. I'm very, very arrogant. And I'm very, very proud. So you're not wrong in that regard. And I didn't like you, but I started looking at your content instead of thinking about you. And then I got to love you because you say the truth and you say the way it is. I want to ask you for a favor. Can you make your show all about the way you do it on Thursdays and Friday where we talk everything? Because sometimes waiting for Thursday and Friday can make you forget the things that you want to discuss, and it's good. I mean, you've made this show now a family and all encompassing. I love the way you treat the political side of the conversation last week. I hope you could talk more on that and give your political views on things too, even though we're talking sports. Meanwhile, you keep saying that you are an amateur in politics. I saw your comment on Facebook and the reaction that it got. It doesn't look like that was an amateur's opinion. That looked like an expert opinion, even though a lot of people didn't understand what you were saying. But I, a Peter Obi supporter, believe that you're saying the truth. You're practically telling us how to market Peter Obi better so that a lot more people will be convinced about his agenda, which is good. But before I go, can I ask you this? Do you think that Peter Obi is the solution, is the answer to Nigerians' problem? Gay. Well, after all this plenty talk, the agenda, Joel, is to put me on the spot, right? Well, let me say this. There is no one single person that is the solution to Nigeria's problem right now. Because Nigerian problem is, I don't know if you're conversant with this word, there's a sickness, there's a sickness called multiple sclerosis. Now, multiple sclerosis is when your cells begin to attack itself. When your cells begin to attack itself and begin to attack your organs on the inside. There is no, I don't know, the survival rate is very, very slim. It's very, very slim. So, Nigerian problem is hydra-headed. in shape and size. So there is the government side, which is high level of corruption, stealing all the money that we have that is supposed to provide all of the solutions that we need. Then there is the people side. Okay, there's the people side. The people, one time I said something on Facebook, like a couple of, like 10, 15 years ago. I said that Nigeria, the way I see Nigeria is divided into two. Those who are in power, who are stealing, and those who are not yet in power, who are waiting to get into power so that they can steal their own turn. And that's the way it is. If you look carefully, it's not just in our politics, but it is in all facets of our lives, Joel. And how you know is if we have anybody in your family or friend who gets into political office, the first thing we say is we will wash them. What are you really saying when you say we will wash them? You're telling the person to come and spend, to come and do loud. That spending is always unaccounted for, and it is in the place of irresponsible spending and unaccounted money. That's where the corruption starts. Because if you can allow somebody to not account for 100,000 naira, very soon it will not account for 100 million naira. And I might not be making sense to you right now, but everything falls like domino. Okay, there's always a ripple effect. The traffic is the best way to look at it. Somebody who's supposed to get into the bus stop to drop passengers or to pick up somebody now decide to stay on the road because he wants to get in on the traffic very fast to pick passenger, and then the passenger is slow, or to drop passenger and then the passengers are slow. Before you know it, there's a pile-up, and that's what causes traffic. That's why we always say in Lagos that you don't even know what they cause the traffic. Those are those little things. Because when you get there, you now find out that there's nobody there, but you pile up. You've turned a 4-lane road to a 2-lane road, and everybody's coming with speed, and all of a sudden they have to apply the brakes, and then the thing is piled up. That's how our problem is. It's also the kind of thing that causes heart attack. When you keep eating rubbish, feeding your body junk on a consistent basis without detoxing, one day your heart will shut down. So in the long run, what I'm saying is Peter B can go in and try. Okay, so what has happened in the last 7 years? Let's be very honest. Buhari have done what a man who has not done business would do. You see, the thing about money is when money comes into your hand, and that's also one of my disadvantage with Peter Obi. Is when he left, his hallmark is he left money in the coffers of the state. That's a very dangerous. Chip on your shoulder to say he left money in the state, because when he left, what did they do with the money? And it's not his business. No. All those money he left, if he had invested it, nobody talk about saving. Savings is not a good way to save money. No smart businessman save money. People put money in investment. So the state, if this money were invested, it would have turned up something for him. So I don't want somebody who will save up money. Look at Buhari. Buhari came in and saved up a lot of money. Let's be very honest. All those money was stolen. Antony General, this one, that one, everybody was stealing the money, because when you save all this money, somebody's going to steal it. That's the way it works. There's plenty of money. When Abacha died, there was plenty of money. I don't call the man whose birthday is today, Abu Salam, how he made all this money that he made, but you cannot be an army general and be that rich. That's just the basic truth. I grew up with a long line of military people, from general to brigadier general to colonel to all that. So I know. But I'm just saying you should think, we should think about that. So that one first is a disadvantage on my part if I'm judging Peter Obi. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the only disadvantage we're talking about Bola Tinubu, let's be very honest, is his age and the fact that we think he's shaking. But if you look at Bola Tinubu very well, you look at the team. When I'm looking at Peter Obi, one of the things that I kept asking is, why are we always talking about him? Why are we not talking about the team that he built in Anambra? Where are they today? The team that he put together, because that's how I judge a person. I want to know the people you raise, the men that you raise, because human capital development is the greatest investment anybody can have. If you don't have that, I have a problem with you. Look at Tinubu on the other hand. There's serious human capital development. That's the reason why he's been able to fight everybody and win. Conquered Obasanjo, one of the most powerful men in Nigeria. Lost the Southwest and regained it back. There's so much craft and style in his side. Would I want him to be president? I don't know. I don't have anybody that I like or I don't like here, but all of them have their flaws and their strengths. So collectively, when anyone wins eventually next February, if anyone win or March, whatever the election is on, and they're swearing in May, what we'll have to do is, as we're voting in these guys, we should also vote in the right governors. we should also vote in the right reps. Okay, we should also vote in the right senators because it's a whole gamut of a problem. Don't think the president can come in and fix it. And you know how it is. Let me tell you what happened. Buhari came in with the excitement that he can fix it, and then when he realized that the problem is bigger than what he thought, he just like, you know what? Let me just enjoy the ride and forget about these people. These people don't want to be fixed, and that's my own understanding of how Buhari have gone about his government. And it's also the same thing that happened with Jonathan. Oh, these people don't want to be fixed. I beg, let's just have fun and go. Let's drink and merry. Nigeria will take all of last, everybody will be fine. Okay. And then the next person that will come in will also be like that. So let's make sure that we hold our governors accountable, our rep, our representative, the person that's representing our constituency, will hold all of them responsible. That's how we'll fix Nigeria. If not, there's no president. If you like, vote the Pope in as Nigeria president, things will still be the same. Because the problem is too much. There is nobody, one individual that can fix the problem. If you fix the problem in the south, the person in the north will cry, Father, you spend the money that they are needing to go and fix the south. If you see fix the north, the south will say that the west, the east. So it's a gamut of a problem. So first off, if we are wise Nigerians, this energy that we're putting on social media to talk about the president, why is it that we don't have that same energy at state level? Okay, if we don't have that same energy at state level, then there's no balance to the conversation. We become the real problem of the country that we think we're trying to fix. That's my own view on that one, Joel. I know it's taking a whole lot of time, but that's just what I say. Guys, once again, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet. Let's get in on the conversation and see how it goes. Though Victor Osimhen conversation is still very, very hot. Some people are not comparing him with Darwin Nunez and the rest of them. I don't think I want to do comparison. I'm not really good when it comes to comparing footballers. I just think that every footballer would have their own style and their own value that they bring. Why is Liverpool going for Nunez and not going for Osimhen? Well, they have a reason. Their scouts have done their scouting. They look at it. And then let's not forget that European clubs like to sign players that have European passport. It's easy for them to fall into the homegrown talents own thing, especially in England, than to deal with an African player that takes a quota and knowing fully well that they have other African players on their team. Having said that, it also comes down to scouting. It's not really, somebody said it's racism. It's not really racism. It's scouting and then choice as well. Okay, so let's always understand that part of the conversation. And YouTube, Omar Joseph, you say, we there here the watch. Good morning, boss. Good morning to you, boss. How you doing? Okay, on Instagram, creator Ediale, the best and most artistically astute writer in the world today. If you're looking to read something that you enjoy for pleasure, for fun, somebody that gives you information in an exciting and entertaining way, I think that's the guy you look for. Ediale Kingsley, search for Ediale Kingsley across all social media platforms, everywhere. Not really too active on Twitter, is there, but it's not really too active. But every other place is very, very active. I think that's the guy you need to look at for. Sometimes, there's something called binge reading. I do binge reading sometimes when I just like, okay, let me read a little bit just to exercise my brain, because the work that I do is brain related. And sometimes people get bored when everything you talk is sports. And because my style is relativity, I try to relate different things. So you go to people like Ediale Kingsley, you learn how to use words, you learn how to weave them together, the usage of word, the weaving of those words together, and them making sense. Okay, it's one of the reasons why I used to go to House on the Rock. Not really because of the Christian agenda. No, I don't understand that agenda, especially in Nigeria space. But I used to go to House on the Rock because Paula Defarasi is, I think, one of the greatest word user that I know in the world. I like him when he talks and when he put these things together, And then I was a very, very fast talker on radio, so I wanted to pick up some stuff, and then I go into the studio and I do the same thing. He said, in a democratic state, one man can't change the country. That's Kingsley Ediale, and I agree with you completely. That's been my gospel since forever. Oluya, to say Happy New Week, Big E. Big Uncle E, thank you very much. How is Germany or Europe? Because you could be anywhere apart from Germany. Rumor is up. He said the political emancipation will be a process that will take time. I agree with you, Big Grammar. Oluwashagun Peter Omotosho, he said, good morning, Idafe. How much does it really cost to have a good football pitch, and why does Nigeria not have one? Okay, so we have pitches. What we don't have is the know-how to maintain it. So and now it's funny because I saw this coming and I said it, and people were insulting me, especially the Facebook people. Social media people, ignorant people just jump up and think that being savage is how to communicate. If you don't know something, keep quiet. It's better to keep quiet or ask the right questions. When they were planting the grass in the stadium in Abuja, from the videos and pictures that came out, it was clear that the people that were planting the grass do not understand what a football pitch grassing is all about. They did not understand. You see people bending their back and planting grass like corn. Nobody plant grass in a football field like that. Grasses are planted somewhere in a nursery, and then they come and lay it. Stadium pitch grass anywhere in the world, they are laid. They are not you plant them like you plant corn, plant, give space, no, and then you expect them to grow and cover. That's what we did with the Abuja Stadium. That first off just destroyed whatever good you have with the stadium. If you look at the Uyo Stadium, you notice that the pitch is still good because they were laid. They were not planted like somebody planting corn. So we don't have the know. And that one was done by Julius Baja. This other one is done by Dangote with a lot of Nigerians working there, not even the Chinese people. The Chinese people were just supervising. And they didn't take time because it's a trade by barter. So you get whatever you get. Okay, so I think the problem we have is the fact that we don't have the know-how and we're not willing to go and learn. So let me give you a very, very vintage example. You know how I used to do a lot of football bet predictions, and I even have WhatsApp group, different people. One of the things that got me to stop predicting for people is you will give people a structure. You will tell them, oh, this is how it's done, this is what you do, this is the process, this is but the greed in human, I want to get there fast, will make them do it the wrong way, and then they'll not come and then start lamenting to you that, oh, this is what they did, this is what happened, how can you fix it, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, like, if people don't want to listen, if people don't think that instruction is important, you leave them alone. And most of those sports betting group that I belong to, that's how I just stopped. Like, I get paid to talk. So if I'm doing it for you for free and you're not valuing it, I should withdraw it because I'll frustrate myself, like hitting your head on a brick wall. So I think that the problem with us is not really that we don't have it. I mean, there's a lot of stadium in Nigeria, but we don't have the know-how. And it's important. What's up to the JC? People know better, they will do better. But when we don't know better, we can't do better. So we don't have the know-how that, look, there are ways to lay grasses on the football field. That's one. Then after you lay it, there are ways to maintain it. It's somebody's job, or it's a group of people's job to go to work. Like, I know that once I'm in Lagos, I'm always going to come to this radio station, this studio, and do my show from 9 to 10. It's my responsibility. How I wake up, how I go to sleep early or sleep, even if I sleep late, making sure that I wake up, I'm ready by 8 o'clock, I'm already lining up my stories, doing everything, doing my posts, so that I can stream on YouTube, you can stream on Instagram, you can stream on Facebook. That's my responsibility. And I take it very serious. So people should be employed. In Nigeria, all of the stadium, what we have is stadium manager. And the stadium manager's job is actually to get some tout who will lock and open gate. That's the way it works here. Who will lock and open gate and then collect money from youth teams that want to use the practice pitches for training. That's not managing a stadium. Managing a stadium entails having a staff that keeps the seats clean from dust. I mean, if you travel, you think there's no dust across Europe and the rest of the world. How is it that every time you go to their stadium, there's no dust in the seat? You go and sit down, you have fun, everything is nice. There are people there. As a matter of fact, stadiums in Europe accrue more debt than the ones we have here, because people go to stadium, they eat. You imagine 60,000 people and the amount of snacks they will take, the food, the mess they will create. But 3 days time, there's a match in that same stadium, and you don't see one of those there. Look, consider the number of people that are working. Okay, those are the things that we don't have. We've not learned how to turn our stadium into a business, because once we turn it into look at the Lagos National Stadium, for instance. People play football every day on that legacy pitch. That legacy pitch alone can generate the money that will take up the stadium. Legacy pitch and the parking space that you have there, if we are smart and intelligent people. But no, people just take the money and put it in their pocket again. That's the corruption that I'm talking about. That's the thing that I say it is all our collective responsibility to fix Nigeria. If not, we'll keep having that problem. You think it's the president's job to go and say, okay, you've used as his first minister, you've used my power, the office of government, to convince Dangote to come and grass this field. Now, what do you do next after that? Or what do you even tell them the specification of the type of grass that you should put? You don't just, If I buy a piece of land now and I want to build, okay, so I have GCAPA in mind if I want to build my studio. I have a certain Mr. Leon in my mind. These are the people that will build for me anytime I want to build. If I'm not buying a finished house, I want to build from ground up. These are the people that will build for me. Even though I trust their work, I've seen their work and I trust their work, I'm also going to get the specification of what I want. When I wanted to do my studio, I've always loved a table like this. I've always said that this is how my table will be. And this is what I got. It's a carpenter that did it, but I'm the one that determined the shape, the dimension, and everything. So it's always something we must consider in this part of the world. But unfortunately, we don't. And those are the problem. Real Madrid just changed their stadium. What did they do? They brought in a pitch that can roll off and another pitch come in. These are people who are thinking innovatively, thinking futuristically, and then the whole dimension of the field. There are reasons why they do it like that. When they built the new Wembley, what did they do? The biggest consideration for the new Wembley was to retain the ecosystem of the Twin Tower, the old Wembley. How did they do it? They arc it such a way that the mirror, the glasses, the tiers will bounce back the sound to make sure when the stadium is packed full, the sound does not go out, but rather it stays inside. So you have to be very, very intentional and deliberate about this. If you don't, we're just not going anywhere. And those are some of the things we need to do. I always say to young people that, look at all of the places where we have failed in Nigeria. Don't complain. Complain don't fix problem. Learn, go and train yourself. Learn. Nigerians spend a very large period of time traveling and doing shopping without really going to learn. Okay, so this is how we travel. If you look at the average Nigerian traveling pattern, Nigeria will live here, go to London, and go and live with other Nigerians that are in London. We hardly mix with foreigners. Then we go from the house of those people or the hotel, and we go to shopping mall and go to food court, and then we come back. What we have just done is we have moved Nigeria from Nigeria to London. We've not left Nigeria. We're still in Nigeria. We've not changed anything. We're still having the same. We still go to party with Nigeria. We still hang out with Nigeria, and then we'll come back. Nothing has changed. What we've just done is we've seen, but we've not learned how that works. So I think when we travel now, the younger generation, because you guys are the guys that will really turn Nigeria around. When you travel, make friends. Don't leave Nigeria as Mr. Shola and go to London or US or Dubai, anywhere, and your friends are Adebayo, Ngozi, Chinedu, Musa, Ahmed, all those things. You are still in Nigeria, even though you're outside Nigeria. You're still in Nigeria. One of those things that people always do. You travel from Nigeria and the first thing you do is you go and look for Nigerian settlements there. No, I don't think that's the right thing to do. Look for a place where there are Nigerians, but not much, so that you can also learn the way other people do, the way other people raise their children, the other people behave, the thought process. Because if you put too many Nigerians in one place, you start seeing all of us exhibiting the Nigerianness in us and the foolishness. Go to Dubai, for instance. Dubai is a beautiful place, but go to a place called Charger. There are a lot of Nigerians there, and you could practically think that you are in Surulere or you are in Mushi and that's in Dubai. You think that you are in Surulere or Mushi, even though with high rise, or you are in Dauphin Estate or Balade, because the Nigerian in us have been there. That's so when we travel, we should try and learn things that we can bring back here. And then another thing we should also learn not to do is don't always go abroad and the first thing you think you should do is to start calling Nigeria bad names. Oh, Nigeria is a useless place. Nigeria is a zoo. No, this election has taught me a whole lot of beautiful lessons. In the last 10, 15 years, you see people from a particular tribe very, very vocal online calling Nigeria a useless country. Nigeria can never be good. Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. Then this election came in and the person from their region is now campaigning, is on the ballot as a president. Okay? And then all of a sudden, everybody is running to want to govern this zoo, to want to be part of the zoo, to want to be, you understand? Like I always say, you cannot prosper in a place that you cause, right? So we should be very, very careful. Learn to be part of the value, not part of the destruction. On YouTube, Timothy Diamond say, Timothy, good to see you yesterday, man. This boy is tall. Was intimidating me with his height and his size and his good looks and all that. Timothy Diamond say, good morning, sir. It was nice seeing you yesterday at the Ballers Award. I expect the Super Eagles to win against Sao Tome and Principe today. I expect them to win too. Somebody also sent me a message there. Dami said, hi, Dafi. What do you think the Super Eagles are going to win today? I was not really too convinced about their game against Sierra Leone, but at least thank God we won 3 points. Is very, very important. But now that Guinea-Bissau have won 5-1 against Sao Tome and Principe, Principally, do you think that we will owing to the fact that we're playing this game in Morocco and not even at the home of the host team? Well, I think we would win. I expect, Super Eagles. I'm very biased when I talk Super Eagles. I'm not as objective when I talk Super Eagles as I am about other things. But I mean, come on, we should win them, and not from an arrogant position, but we should win them if we realize that look, we didn't qualify for we had a bad Nations Cup in January. We didn't qualify for the World Cup coming up later this year in November. And after this game, the next game we're going to have is in September. After that one, I mean, football will take a different shape. We might just be having a new FA president. We might just be running into the next year, differently. I think that we should win. We should win is the one thing that the players owe us, but they will put in a lot of work. Timothy Debo, I think we should win later today. I am hoping that we would win. But hey, fingers crossed. Sometimes football is not mathematics, okay? So you might think one thing and something else would happen. Okay, let's talk about the transfer gist or the stories making the round. Hey, Johnny Gavai, these are the teams we should be beating 5-0, same as when England play the likes of San Marino and Co. I agree with you, but unfortunately, in Africa football, all things are not equal. Okay, so you would have thought that Egypt would beat Ethiopia mercilessly, but it ended 2-0 in favor of Ethiopia. Who is Ethiopia in football, not athletics. This is football. So all things are not being equal. When I say all things are not being equal, the pitches are not good. So you could be playing half of the game trying to adapt to your own pitch, like we saw with the Super Eagles against Sierra Leone in Abuja. We have no business struggling in that game. But when you look at the pitch, as I was watching the game, I was feeling for the players. I kept telling my kids, because I was watching with my son and my daughter, I kept saying somebody's going to get injured on this field. Somebody's going to get injured on this field. Somebody's going to get. I kept saying it because I know I've been in this position. Somebody's going to get injured on this field. And when Truss Ekong got injured, I was like, okay. That's the injury that I was talking about. And I felt for him because that's avoidable injury, but it just happened. But like you said, I agree with you, but it's in a situation where all things are equal. I don't think England will beat San Marino that much if they play in bad pitches, because they will struggle, because their games are built on good free-flowing pitches, and then they go to pitches that are not good, they will struggle. Even in England, as good as their pitches, if it is not wet, I think that came out. If it's not wet, it came out in the negative way. Okay, they don't water it. They don't water it. It might just be disastrous for a good team like England. England's not really that good anyway, but a team like England. So you need everything to be perfect. Unfortunately, we don't create that kind of scenarios in Africa. But the pitch in Morocco is good. The stadium is good from the pictures that I've seen, and it's different from pictures and then live experiencing it. So let's wait till we see the game go on live, and then we could talk about the pitch. But I think that pitch is better than the Abuja one. So we just might be able to pull our games through, push it forward. Onyema say hello, Idafe, good morning. What do you have to say about our coach? Do you think this is a good coach? I always trust your position on coaches and players. When you say it, even though we disagree, in the long run, what you say is what it is. Like Moses Simon that you kept hammering on, we didn't like it, but it's proven to be true that he can't cross the ball. And then, but you've not said anything about. I know this was good. You've not said anything about Alex Iwobi's improvement. At least when they improve, you should be able to say, I have actually said it. I've actually done a video on that one. I think you need to check it. I have actually given him all the credit, and I said I'm going to watch him again next season because as much as I saw is that he improved under Frank Lampard, and Frank Lampard has done a good job. But then I remember saying that, is it last week or upper week that maybe it's because they were in the relegation dogfights. Maybe Lampard again is being an English coach. English coaches don't do well at the top, but they do well at the bottom. So let's see how it goes anyway. But we will see how it goes. Johnny Gaffer, I said the joke is our fullbacks. Oh Jesus, he deleted it very fast. Okay, please. I don't know, but send that message that you retracted. You can send it again. Let me see. But I think you were going to say that our fullback had better crosses than our wide men. I agree with you that one. Rich Emmanuel Oro on Facebook, he said, good morning, boss. Happy first show of the week. Okay, we like all these happy things. Thank you very much. Happy first show of the week. I don't know how that works anyway. Mobalaji Olamiri says, good morning, Elegote, good morning to you. What do you think about this man, Pasero? Jesus God. Do you think any good thing can come out of it? Is Nazareth? Wait. No tactics yet. Really? I'm not telling her. I'm not. Did you watch that my video that I said Nigerians also come out and say the coach don't get tactics? Why is it that always that's the one thing that you would like to see? See, what is tactics? Tactics is the formation in which a team play. Did we not play with the tactics against Sierra Leone? The team changed into different formation as the game was going. So why would you say no tactics yet? The team is lacking in certain quality players. We played that game without a no defensive midfielder, and that's a problem. So we should always remember the handicap of the team. I think the coach is going to be good, but a coach is as good as the quality of players that he's got. And let's give him some time and see how it happens. I mean, this is first competitive game. He's going to play the second competitive game today. Lost to friendly matches. Some people already have opinions about that, but we will see. Precious MNK 001. They said Barca went from signing the likes of Henry, Neymar, and Fabregas to signing retirement players. Bro, you can only buy things with the money you have in your ATM. I'm sure as you are right now, you love to have a house in Banana Island. You love to go on trip, vacation to Maldives and the rest of them, but you can't because of what your bank balance is saying. So that time that we were buying those players, that's what their bank balance is saying. Right now, this is what their bank balance is saying. The most important thing is keep the team going, keep the ball playing. There's going to be a time, there's no champion forever. They can't dominate forever. There is always going to be a time where, okay, they would have to look at all of the spendings and then come back and say, okay, let's do something different. So they're trying to do something different. You can't hold that against them. It's not a bad thing. The end of the season, as bad as they were, the end of the season in the top four, they qualified for the Champions League. That's something you give them credit for. So let's see how they go with this new signing. Who said these new signings cannot turn out to become better players? Okay. Lamarafat Alade, he said, nice move for Paul. The Englishman also is planning big for Bild to build his career in German side. I believe that it will be better for young players to go to Germany for good career. Eriksen has shown the world what he has. Dybala, the man go and enjoy himself in international. Happy democracy. Thank you very much. Rosman, I write this to me. Make us feel read that more. Otega Onowapo. Oh, that's my cousin's name. Done, bro. What's your mentorship plan to train young ones and others to fill in your shoes? Why not discuss that? Thanks for the good job. I actually have people that are training, that are mentoring. Listen, the thing about mentoring is you've got to be willing. I've had people who mentor me. I'm the one who went to go and look for them. I have different. I mean, if you talk about mentorship, I can point you to the direction of people like Emmanuel Etim. I mentored that one. Emmanuel Sabastido, who's always here on Tuesday. I mentored. That's a whole lot of people that I mentor. Mentoring does not necessarily mean they have to be with me in the studio. I mentor you does not mean I owe you. Two, discussant in the studio. So let me explain that part because people have raised it. We've had quite a few people here. We've had the young protege, Benedict Eki, who just lost his dad, who's dealing with the grief of losing a father, a young kid, 14, 15 years old. And we've also had a few other people. Now, what happens is, in my space, there is a certain standard. So you have to be on that standard to be on my show. I can't just bring anybody here who, first of all, will spend the whole 1 hour trying to take autograph from me. You have to be up to a certain standard. And I've had a few come and go, but they really don't match it. And then normally, young kids today, you're not even good. You're learning, but you want to be paid $1 million. I don't have that money to pay you. So I'm going to do my show and do it well. That's why I even have the podcast that is coming out where myself and Emmanuel Babayaro were doing something. There's nothing wrong with earning. I mean, I grew on this job. I spent 8 years learning how to be this person for free in Brilla. 8 years, 2004, 2012. And in between, I started earning like 10K every week. But the point is, I offered myself for free to learn. People don't see it that way anymore. And I'm not going to force anybody. I mean, I could talk for 3 hours if I want to. So it's not like, oh, it's a big deal. That's why we have this whole process whereby the people that are viewing can be part of the show. But to have a discussant, you have to be on certain standard. And a lot of people have come here. You know, the thing is to type. it's easy. Many people can type. Many people can say things on social media. You put somebody sitting on this microphone to come and face you and talk. People they freeze. I've tried it with a lot of people, and they just even can't do it. So now these days I don't try to bother myself. I think that if anybody is willing, when I wanted Alibaba to mentor me, he didn't come looking for me. I went to look for him. You know, all of the people that I've asked to mentor me, whether in business, whether in relationship, whether in public speaking, whether in networking, I go to them. I say a reason like, okay, I want to go. I put out offers most times that, I have the chance. I want to mentor people 3 times a week. I didn't see the people coming, so it's not my thing. I can't force anybody. You can put an offer out there. People are not taking it. You pull it back. Akim Sayadeni Yomi said, thanks, boss. God bless you, my brother. Okay, so let's go back to the stories, the headlines that were. So Johnny Gavasi, yes, I was. Man United camp says, good morning, boss. This season will be fire. No, there's no fire. It depends on what you're saying, because if the way I see you now, you are a Man United guy. Man United are not going to win the league title. Man United are not going to be competing for the titles. So there is no fire there. It's still going to be a battle between Liverpool and Man City. I still think that Man City are going to win the league. They are going to try to compete for the Champions League. We're still looking at what Bayern will sign, because Bayern could just be a threat. Real Madrid, looking at them, they still look like, Real Madrid will always be a threat in the Champions League. They are the owners of the competition. Every other person just trying to catch up with them. Liverpool will still be there, but let's look at who goes out. If, for instance, they lose Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, Liverpool will take a few steps backward. Okay, Chelsea could also be a threat, but I'm looking at who they are going to sign. From the players that are leaving, sometimes you judge a team by the way people are exodusing the team. These players are leaving. Why are they leaving? Why are they not excited about the new owners? What is the new owner saying? Are the new owners going to be like Arsenal owners who are more focused on their business in the US than their business in England? So those are some of the things you need to look at. But I think that in England it's pretty straightforward. It's still going to be a Man City league title win, and then the rest will chase and pretend like they're chasing, and therefore by the wayside. In Germany, I don't know where. Let Lewandowski leave first, and I don't know how Dortmund would set themselves up, because they've also lost Haaland now, so I can't predict that they will win. RB Leipzig does not look to me like a club that really wants to win the league. There's also this thought in my head that there is maybe a subtle walk against them from winning the league. And when I say that, people are like, oh no, that you shouldn't be saying that. You're too big to say that. Someone like you in your position shouldn't be saying that. But I know that there's match fixing in football. I know, I've been in the game long enough to know. So if you don't believe, that's your own business. But I know that there's match fixing. So what I'm saying is, the Germans would be very, very allured to see a club from East Germany win the league title. That I know for sure. It doesn't, like the same way they didn't like Matteo Sama to be a strong person, although Sama also have his own problem. Sama has his own mental problem, but they didn't want him to be a strong character in German football. And you saw how his career petered away after winning the German Bundesliga one season. Thereafter, he became a recluse. Okay, but long and short, being a club from East Germany, I think that the German Bundesliga will do everything to make sure RB Leipzig don't win it. But it's also good for story. It's also good for the brand, for them to be up there. So, but for Dortmund, I don't know. So maybe we'll still put it out. In Germany, it's still going to be Borussia Dortmund. In Holland, now they've lost Erik ten Hag. But Ajax is more of the structure than the coach. So anybody can still come in and fit in very well. I will see how that goes. In France, I think it's going to be PSG all the way, but I don't think that they have a squad yet that would win the Champions League. But they could just, put forward, because Messi will be better next season. I think there will be better understanding with the players. Messi will be more of a provider than a scorer, and you see that he's already preparing himself. And then lately, Messi seems to be very, very happy playing for the Argentine national team. He seems to be very, very happy. Messi is very dangerous when he's happy. Messi is a beast when he's happy. So let's just see how that goes. But in England, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's still Pep Guardiola and Man City. That man is insatiable. His appetite for victory is insatiable. This might just be the season he wants to compete for the Champions League. I think he's got the materials now. Let's see if he can get another defensive midfielder to cover up for the exit of Fernandinho. He just might be ready for it. Johnny Gavase, there's no such thing as a professional coach not having tactics. I wonder when people say that a coach not get tactics. And the people that are saying don't even know what the tactics mean. Most Nigerians who say this do not even know what is a tactics. they say you don't get tactics. They said they were here shouting, gonna try not get pattern, not get pattern, not get pattern. We'll not go World Cup now. People will get pattern call, we'll not go World Cup. You know, there's no such thing as a professional coach not having tactics. LOL. Some maybe more savvy than others. Okay, I know you now. Is it Patrick? Since Liverpool not win the Champions League and the league title, your that had not finished, Abi. Okay now. Good morning, boss. You never walk alone, you're walking alone. Garrett. He said looking forward to another 3 points for the Eagles today. Me too. I'm looking forward to it too. Good to see you, boss. Good to see you too. I can type. Man United can say, okay, let's see. When Man United fans are this humble, you worry. Like they can't even speak, they can't even defend their dynasty. Oh Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. How are the mighty falling? That Jesus, Man United fans are normally imposterous and bragging form. But yeah, that's it. That's how they've been humble for 10 years now. Okay, Drake Cruz, how you doing? It's been a while. He said, I'm here again to join the live show. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have you too. But I'm missing Hybrid 10. The guy just bailed on me. I don't know if he's angry, if he disappeared, but he just bailed on me. We had one argument and then I don't see him anymore. But I cannot understand. Drake Cruz was a good guy. He said, when you are an Arsenal fan, you will be more patient in anything you do. Wallahi. That's true. When you're an Arsenal fan and then you're a Nigerian and then you come from a minority tribe like I am, it's going to be a virtue for you. It's going to be part of your life. You know, you learn how to be patient without knowing, without anybody teaching you. Teach yourself. You get a PhD in being patient. Okay, Instagram creator ideally say these days they want to earn giant fee from day one when you counsel them. Yeah, I say a lot of people. You come here. A man brought his daughter for us to mentor, and within 2 weeks, the daughter was already trying to use this place as a conduit to go do visitation. Like, hey, Mr. David, I want to go and see my friend in my schoolmate. But my daddy called, tell him that I'm in the studio. That's why I cannot see the car. I said, well, this girl can't go one place. Maybe they go rape her, they can't kidnap her, something go happen. The man send driver to come drop her here. You will send driver in the evening to come pick her. That mean that go put for social media saying I me connive with people. Police will arrest you, they don't arrest you, finish you. Even if they bail you, you come out, your name don't drag. I tell the master, your pikin don't get eye for this place. So where your pikin eye did, this your pikin they rebel against you because when the girl comes here, she's very excited, talk about her father, like her father is always treating her like she's a prisoner, her father wants to decide. I said, your pikin don't get mind on this thing. There are things she wants to do, let her do it. But me, I not do it. The man started feeling bad, like, it's a Liverpool fan, like, can I feel bad, like, oh, I don't want to help people, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even hear what I was saying. Those kind of things. And then there are people that have come here, and you try to mentor them. And some are even very, very good. Let's be very honest. Okay, I had this photographer, fantastic guy. I think it's the best sports photographer. And we're building this thing. I was planning, like, okay, this guy's going to be, like, very soon, it's going to be the guy that will be going for Super Eagles game, running around. But then he decided to push his own button, decided to do his own thing. And let them go. One of the things that I know how to do very well is cutting people off. Like, I'm an expert at doing that. So don't even, but cutting people off is like, I have a PhD on doing that. Because if you're not serious, I can't deal with your drama. I come from a place that teaches me work ethics, work very, very hard, be consistent, do what you're doing. Remember when we started this whole thing? Now we have 10,000 subscribers. I feel like, oh, we're so good at what we do. We'll put up any video now, you get up to 1,000 in 24 hours, 48 hours. You used to put video for 10 months, we got only 7 views, 5 views. So we didn't give up I didn't give up at the time. A lot of people walked out, I can't start with you. Now those people who said they can't start with me are not trying to come back like, okay, they want to be part, they've seen the glory, they've seen the promised land, they've gone to Mount Everest and they now see that we're top, okay. But it's not gonna work again. So sometimes you gotta find consistency. Creator ideally said many young starters want to start earning giant fee from day one. If you cancel them, you become that enemy and this, start evil campaign on social media. Yeah, I've seen a whole lot of that. I've seen a whole lot. The other day, I was talking to some people, so I'm a mentor at Ecobit. Ecobit is a school for the less privileged people. So every year, less privileged youth from the age of 17 to 25. So every year we take in 100 students and we teach them coding, video editing, graphic design, web designing and the rest of them. One of the things that I noticed when we take them, they take them through 3 phases of course 1, course 2, course 3. At cost one, over 50 people will drop. And we provide them food. Oh, they don't pay anything. It's free. We go out there to look for sponsors. I'm one of the mentors. What I do is I mentor them, teach them what happens in life. But beyond teaching them that, I also, bring in different mentors. I brought in Timida Kolo, brought in, MC Abi. Yo was there to mentor them the other time. From McDermott, Etinosa back in the day. I brought in a whole lot of people. And one of the things I noticed with these young people is everyone at a very early age think of how do you make money? Nah. Nobody, there is no overnight wealth anywhere. There is no overnight wealth anywhere. But it's hard to explain it to people. So when you see people, you just have to be patient enough to pick out your lucky ones, like Emmanuel Sebastian. And whenever I see Emmanuel Sebastian, whether he's unveiling of the Ballers Award or presenting or doing what he's doing, I feel very excited. That's a guy that I will grow with. Okay. When I see people like Timothy Deibo, when I see some of the young ones, because they're also good young ones, you cannot just know them. When I see Emmanuel, I say, this is a guy that came to me in 2010. But Emmanuel Sebastian, Emmanuel team was good, but he didn't know. And then look, built his confidence. Look at how much of a giant he is in the industry. So I feel very, very happy. Or Sexy Joe. I remember Sexy Joe in 2012 that came for audition, was crying. And they said she wasn't good enough. Look at how powerful she is now in the industry. And a few other people like that. But there are so many people who will not even listen to you. There's nothing you can do. It's that generation is very fast. Everything is fast. I'm even dealing with that with my own kids. They're in a hurry. Let's learn languages. Oh, for where? Even Yahoo or money Richard does not come easy. That's according to Saviki. And that's true. So you can really not beat people to learn. There's just got to be willingness to learn. What's it called? Benny, he said that if you don't get tired of riding a Volkswagen, you can't aspire to ride a Mercedes-Benz. If you don't get tired of living in a one-room apartment, you can never aspire to live in a 2, 3, or 4-room or duplex apartment just like that. So some of them are comfortable where they are. You that is trying to now say, come, let me mentor you, you're wasting your time. And that's some young, even in this estate that we live in, and that's some young boys, and then come, let me teach you video editing, we'll work together, and we'll grow together. I'm like, bros, I don't have that time. And then down the line, bros, I find anything for your boys. How do I now have the time to give you anything that I'm working for? I can't give you. You don't have my time. I don't have your time. Okay. Man United can say, he said, we're thinking you are not friendly with Manchester. I don't have to be friendly. I just have, my friendliness is not what put them on the position they are on the table. So don't try to blackmail anybody to love your team. Your team is your team. Your position where you are is where you are. You're not doing well. The match fixing that help you to win 13 titles is no longer available for you. It's as simple as that. It's not about being friendly. I don't have to be friendly with your team. I'm a football person, and the facts are there to see. I'm not the reason why Manchester United is discombobulated, disorganized, not good. I mean, everybody who can coach teams to success have come to coach Manchester United. Louis van Gaal, a great coach, legendary one, came in and he fell down flat. Jose Mourinho, a legendary coach, came in and people didn't even appreciate what he did with your team. Okay, you said you want one of your own came. You even rejected him. Okay, like Nazareth. Then David Moyes was brought in from the angle of nepotism. The Scotsman gave him, your legendary Scott coach, Alex Ferguson, gave him a job as his fellow countryman. He didn't even do anything. And then so many things. Money have been invested. Players, some of the best players have been bought to Manchester United. They come to Manchester United, they die. They are both, Manchester United currently is both player and coach killer. It's a graveyard. So it's not me. It's not, even if I say I like Man United, we make them better. Frank Idemodia Alapa, I am the greatest. Hey, thank you very much for being there, man. That's a guy that I'll be my day one guy. I think it's the best voice I ever worked with on radio. And I work with some guys who got great voice. Georgeson, Tony Bekederemo, a few other guys, but this guy knows his stuff and he knows his way with what. Frankie Demundi Alapa, thank you very much for gracing my YouTube live. That's princely. That's very, very important. Prince K is a nice one. He said, I beg, which team you they support? I support every good team, but I'm an Arsenal fan to the very, very bone marrow. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm a Super Eagles fan. Super Eagles is my Mumu team. And I'm also a Rivers United fan because that's the team. I played for Sharks when I was playing football in Nigeria, so that's the team. I'm a fan of Elfsborg in Sweden as well. Parenthood is hard in this generation. Oh, everyone is in a hurry. I agree with you. So let's talk about transfer speculations that are making the rounds. Okay, people are still talking. Oh, Victor Osimhen, where's he gonna go? Where's he gonna play? I don't know. I don't know, but we shall see at the end of the day, right? So let's keep our fingers crossed. Aurelio De Laurentiis, I've come to see 100 million euro or no deal. 100 million euro means 85 million pounds. If you're not ready to pay, if you not get that money, please shut up. Kalaya money. Wake up. You need to bring better money. That's what they're saying. So let's look at the stories that are making the round, the gossip that we're having. Fabrizio Romano is all over the place today. Juventus are confident of signing Paul Pogba on a free transfer from Manchester United, with the 29-year-old French midfielder set to agree a 4 years contract, according to Fabrizio Romano. Twitter. Okay, Tottenham's Steven Bergwijn says he has interest from a number of clubs as the Netherlands winger 24 looks to leave with Ajax in talks over a summer move. And the major motivation for him leaving is he wants to be in the Dutch national team World Cup squad. And the only way to be there, the coach have told him, look, if you're not playing regularly, forget about it. And he wants to go to the World Cup in November. So this is the best way that he can do it. So Vicky on Instagram said, what must do you want to say about Man U? Please, off the mic. It's okay. What more do you want to say? Okay, I think that's what you wanted to write. English right back Jonjoe Kenny, okay, 25, has committed to joining Hertha Berlin on a free transfer from Everton. I think I like that one too. English players are beginning to realize that they have to go out there to learn a different style of play, different environment for their game to improve, because the few that have gone out have also come out better than they were when they were in England. So it's a good thing. Denmark midfielder Christian Eriksen, remember him at the Euros, 30 years old now, who had the heart issues, has decided to pursue a new challenge and is preparing to leave Brentford amidst interest from his former club Tottenham Hotspur. I think if you go to Sports, you will sit on the bench, so you better watch out before you move. And Manchester United, Manchester United, 30-year-old heart. Okay. Manchester United are also on course to sign Brazilian winger Antony, 22, from Ajax, a very good assist creator, and Netherlands midfielder Frenkie de Jong, 25, from FC Barcelona, if they pay the right price, according to Barcelona. Okay, that one is coming from Talksport. Chelsea are close to signing American goalkeeper Gabriel Slonina. Okay, it's just 18, so don't think that is somebody that they would get to, but because they have American owners, they have to balance the book, so they have to play the politics as well. So it said from Chicago Fire, after Real Madrid had a bid of 10 million euros, 8.5 million pounds rejected. That's according to Fabrizio Romano on Twitter. Leeds United are frontrunners to sign New York City's 23-year-old Argentine forward Valentin Castellanos. Okay, are you seeing the new urge to sign American players? American investment is coming into the Premier League, so that happened. Michael Uchesin is saying, please, what do you think about Haaland and Nunes? There's no rivalry there now. That's not a rivalry. There's no rivalry. I don't see any rivalry. They're not playing in the same league yet until they start to play in the same league, and we'll see them play. One is playing for Man City, one is going to hopefully Liverpool, unless things go wrong and then Chelsea swam. But if you look at it, there has not been a rivalry between anybody on Man City and Liverpool. Look at it for the years that they competed together. The two coaches have done something that no two rival teams regularly do. Two coaches have been friends. They've hugged each other. They've laughed after games, after win or loss. And the players are not. I don't see Sadio Mane or Mo Salah being a rival to anybody on Man City. So I don't think there's any rivalry. Yeah, there is just no rivalry. Let them come and play. They can compete in the league. So there's a difference between competing. There was a rivalry between Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira, because every time they play, they seem to think that we have to fight each other to establish our dominance. But, the way Man City, Pep Guardiola arranges his team, Pep Guardiola just believes that, look, the football will do the talking. We don't need to be enemies. We don't need to insult ourselves to play the game. Because Pep Guardiola actually is the weakest mind game player in the whole world. Of all coaches, himself and Arsene Wenger, they're not good with mind game. And if you look at it, most football purists are not good with mind game. And if a coach is not good with mind game, it is hard for that coach to develop players that become rivals. it's when a coach is a nice guy, don't do all those kind of things, it's hard for their players to be like that. So I don't think there's going to be rivalry. And Klopp also is not that kind of Klopp just wants to win. Klopp have this kind of thing that where he creates a leader in everybody and tells them you have to run through this brick wall for me, and they do. But sometimes they meet a brick wall that is impenetrable, like Real Madrid. Twice in the Champions League finals, twice they lost. Okay, midfielder Matteo Guendouzi, expect French defender who send you now. William Saliba, 21, to follow in rejoining Marseille from Arsenal this summer. Both were on loan with the French club last season. No, Saliba is going to stay with Arsenal. Get out. In France, defender Jonjoe Kenny, 23, leaves Sevilla for Chelsea. Then Barcelona are interested in signing Kalidou Koulibaly, but Napoli would want at least 40 million. That money for a 30-year-old. 40 million will not be big money for them. For me, not big money. Let me not say the things that will make Potisa get money and go kidnap me. For them, for football people, not be big money again. But for me, this is the ultimate money. Okay, give me that money now. I'll build a studio somewhere, not in this area, somewhere different. Who's that Maka? Who's that Maka? No, I say, when does the papa there? You do something for body, I mean, the shop knuckle. Like I don't know who said that. It's plenty here we be like Absalom, David Piquet, Absalom. Hey, don't go for Baba. Okay.